Hey, it's the Abstractionist. So I did a short, I don't think I did a video on this just yet, but I did a short saying that I have 100 plus decks now and kind of where I am or the journey I'm gonna, excuse me, explain that. So I counted my decks, and these are decks that I have that I am keeping in decks that I have that I'm kind of looking to rehome. So I have my decks like on this like in this kind of drawer, chest of drawers. Half of it is decks and half of it is like spiritual altar stuff. Well, more art, altar decorations and stuff like that, which I need to find a new home for because I want to put all my decks in here instead. But this thing is heavy with a lot of decks, to be honest. And then all the stuff that's the tarot stuff. Oh, this is heavy. Like you would have to take everything out to like move it because on its own it's already like heavy. So that, oh yeah. So I counted my decks and I have over 100, and I was like, damn, like I feel like I approached this number like a few years ago, like a year or two ago, like probably 2021-ish when I started coming back and buying decks. I felt like I was hitting that number or approaching the number 100. And so I was like, ooh, let me see. I had like gotten decks and gotten rid of decks and stuff like that. So, the number had fluctuated. But now that I solidly know that I have like 100 decks, how is my tarot practice changing? So I am interested in using it as a practice, as a spiritual practice, which I use with other people. I work with other people with them. So a lot of people on here, they're in the tarot space. They have a lot of decks, but a lot of people don't read for other people. And so for me, what differentiates me is that I actually read. I'm doing events, and like people ask for readings, stuff like that. So it's not like I'm like booking readings left and right, but I've done like a fair, like market. I got booked for something else, blah blah blah. So I'm using my decks, and so some of the people, I think they have a lot of decks that they're not using them. I said that about this tarot stagnancy kind of video, because some people, when I was watching them like a year ago or a few months ago, they were talking about how the tarot seems kind of stale, and I just made a video saying that we're kind of not using the decks to begin with. We're just kind of accumulating them. And so one of the things with having a lot of decks is if you don't have any sort of practice around your decks, it's going to be really hard to use them. So you have to use your deck. You know what I'm saying? You have to use your decks. So I plan on actually using my decks on other platforms and with other healing modalities. So I am very interested in pathfinding, embodiment, psychosomatic work, somatic embodiment work. I'm wrapping up my massage therapy journey. So hopefully by the end of the summer, I'll be licensed fully for that. So I'll probably be using it in that space as well. And I plan on getting a lot of use out of my decks. So I don't plan on buying a bunch of decks and then just having them sit there. Like I still do the like quarterlies or whatever. I had to take it down for monthly because monthlies were just getting too much with my life. And so I just do quarterly planetary readings. I don't really want to read by zodiac. I did a poll on that. Most people said they wanted to do it, but I kind of just don't have any attachment to doing that. So I won't do it. Sorry if you were like, I wanted to see zodiac. I think I've moved past that a little bit, and so I'm even moving past planetary readings a little bit, and going into different aspects of readings. I want to do a colors reading. I want to do a sounds reading, but this stuff is gonna start moving away off YouTube, and I think that the people who are moving off of YouTube specifically, that even if they don't have a lot of decks, I feel like their practices are starting to wrap them up to where they won't have as much time to kind of like show you guys. It's kind of like you're gonna have to be in person, or you're gonna have to like book their services or something like that to kind of get that experience. And I think that's a good thing, because it feels like you're coming into your own a little bit with your own practices and stuff like that. And it can be really sad, because I have seen a lot of people go offline. But hold on, let me get some water. I've seen quite a few people go offline. Oh God, like splash my face. Go offline and explore other things, but they were, you know, they probably were continuing their practice. It's just, you just don't see it anymore, you know? And so as I get more decks, the decks that I'm getting are fitting some sort of practice outside of YouTube and outside of tarot. It's linking up with my Reiki, it's linking up with my ideas about astrology, it's linking up with that knowledge, this breadth of knowledge that I want to share that just may not be on here anymore, and in just like real life. So having 100 decks is cool. Of course, I assign decks a planet. Now I'm starting to assign them asteroids. Pretty soon I'll be assigning them colors. Pretty soon I'll be assigning them musical notes. It just seems like I'm progressing naturally. And I think the takeaway from having a large collection is you have to really find an ecosystem to use them. And even if that means you fully develop your practice for yourself and then for other people. Some of you guys, I'm gonna be very blunt, are scared to work with other people and are scared to go out there in the real world and read for people, and are scared to go out there in the real world and actually do your energetic practices, your energetic work. Some of you guys are supposed to be energy workers, tarot readers for people outside of YouTube, and you've been using YouTube as a crutch. And I can say that as someone who's used YouTube as a crutch. So if you're in that space, if you really want to use your decks, you're gonna have to start really using them for yourself in very interesting ways, or you're gonna have to start opening yourself to the gifts that you have to share with other people. And that means working with other people. I think people have the idea that using YouTube is the widest reach you're gonna have. Yes, but working with other people in your locality or something like that, having a website where they book you through, is important. Like, you know, we're meant to work with people, and sometimes in the online space, people tend to be just passively watching and collecting information. But what I've learned is, specifically as Saturn is approaching, it's basically here. My Saturn return is essentially here. My Saturn return is on like Monday. You really have to go out there in the world and do something in the world. And living in your head, living in this safe academic space, so to speak, doesn't mean anything unless you're applying this knowledge. A lot of the fighting that happens on tarot spaces is because no one's really focused on their work enough to where that other shit doesn't matter. And when you start to really focus on the work that you're here to do, a lot of these petty arguments go away because you're not focused on it, right? Like, I kind of pop in and out of different arguments and different perspectives and stuff like that, but when you get wrapped up in what you're doing and your practice and what you believe and how you're gonna like go forward with your shit, that stuff doesn't matter so much. You're less enthralled by it. You're less interested in getting your fix of drama. It's more about what you have to do. And I think Saturn in Pisces is about to highlight, and this is probably gonna be part of another video, but highlighting the work that we have to do and the road ahead, and the people who need to start really getting on their spiritual path, really start getting on the spiritual work they're gonna do. They're gonna start moving offline, and I feel like I am one of those people. I am one of those people. So you have, I don't know how much time left with me on here. You'll probably have like another year-ish, maybe. But it probably will get reduced down a lot more. And I think that's a benefit of having 100 plus decks. I have 100 plus decks to use, and a YouTube channel you really can't use 100 plus decks on a YouTube channel. You have to go out there, you have to interact with people, you have to be involved in your embodiment practice. And if that means you end up not doing 10 videos a month, you end up doing 2, so be it. And I think I'm starting to kind of realize that there's just other stuff that I have to do with these things. And yeah. So thank you for watching. I have 100 plus decks now. I will be getting more. I know that in my lifetime I probably will have maybe close to 200 decks, possibly even more, particularly as I have when I get my own home, I'll have my own space and we'll kind of go from there. And it will probably be a bunch of spiritual books that I want to get, a bunch of spiritual decks I want to get, a bunch of spiritual paraphernalia I want to get, esoterical tools that I want to get, and really having my spiritual space. And I think spirituality means really using your spirituality. I just watched a video today by one of my favorite spiritual channels, essentially tarot channels, spiritual channels. And it's time to move into that for me. So I kind of feel like the decks that I have at this point are some really good decks. I'll start doing some videos about planetary and where I'm going with that, how I assign planets to decks, and show you those decks. And then I think that'll be done for that chapter. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. I'll talk to you later. Bye.